is Saturday, and wow, it's really humid everywhere. I have two, as you can obviously see, authors for the price of one for this interview. This is Tenino, and this is Amelia C. Gormley. Words. So I want to start off asking both of you, what are your current works out? About your current releases?
My current release is Good Boy, which is a short story, and it's the fourth in the Tag series, and it's a follow-up for the first in the Tag series, which was Frat Boy and Toppy. And then I could go back chronologically, but I don't need to.
No, you don't have to. Really, people, Riptide Publishing, look her up.
I just released my second novelette co-written with Heidi Below called An Inch at a Time. That came out in September. It's the second book in the Professor's Rules series, and we're working on book number 3 right now.
Awesome. Well, I have questions for you both, so I'm going to start off with Amelia.
Okay.
As I mentioned in the email, I'm doing this as part of our video book club between me and some friends. And the beginning of the month, we actually covered Giving an Inch.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We enjoyed it, and we really loved it. And I noticed that you were actually kind of crowdsourcing what James the Professor's new adventure would be.
Mm-hmm.
How is that going?
That has been very interesting. That was Heidi Below's brainchild. When she first approached me with the idea of co-writing this series, she said she wanted to do this audience participation feature. And after we talked about it a while, I realized what she was essentially proposing was a sort of kink meme, where we took prompts of the things that people wanted to see featured in sex scenes.
That is amazing. I'm so glad it's going well. I saw when Susan was fighter plane. I'm like, I'm paying attention.
Well, Heidi and I got to choose the 5 prompts we thought we could deal with, and then those went up to a vote. And I'm not actually sure how the vote concluded. Sensory deprivation and was it breath play or voyeurism? I don't remember. We're neck and neck.
Nice.
So basically what that's going to be is that's going to be the first scene of the next book, which is going to bring us back into James and the Professor's present day and their association with Satish.
Yay!
Yes, we're going to get more Satish. And their reunion with one another.
Okay, cool. All right, and first off, Two Super to Live is one of my favorite books. I love awkward characters, and wow,
Very awkward.
very, very awkward. So what inspired you to write this adorably awkward main character?
Well, have you read Whitetail Rock?
I have not read it.
Okay. He actually is the best friend of one of the characters in Whitetail Rock. And Whitetail Rock is free, and you can get it on ARE.
Keep that in mind, Mom.
Yeah. And so Sam is Nick's best friend, and he was adorably awkward there, and I never thought I would write a book for him, because adorably awkward is real and adorable, but it's hard to write sex scenes with adorably awkward. But
You couldn't tell.
I
could not tell.
I rose to the challenge. I did it. But anyway, the funny thing is I've been trying to introduce more, real life detail into as many characters as possible. Like, I made Trevor balding, which I love, and it's because
It's a nice touch.
a third of all men go bald. How many romance heroes are going bald? I've read 2, and one was mine. So anyway.
It's a nice real detail. I like about that you gave Sam this really interesting gig that you don't see a whole lot.
And that just happened. That was weird.
It's perfect.
Yes, I've had good feedback about that.
I love that about your books, that your characters have these little foibles.
They have
It's like, Frat Boy and Toppy, these were real. I can actually imagine these guys existing because these seem so real to me.
I think that's key, because if it seems real in my head, that's when it really turns out well.
Cool.
Which is probably why I write slowly.
Everyone, we all have our speeds.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Amelia, what is your next project other than the Professor's Rules?
In February, I have a post-apocalyptic romance coming out called Strain. it's, it's hard to describe. It is predicated on what on TV tropes is called the mate or die trope. I would call it fuck or die.
You said TV tropes, you're speaking my language.
Oh yeah, well, you know what a black hole that is. You get lost in there. So anyway, the mate or die, fuck or die trope. Basically, I wanted to create this situation where a situation which is often seen as being, you know, a death sentence or being, you know, highly dangerous, which is unprotected male-male sex, is actually the only way that this character is going to live, because the only way he can get infected by a virus that could save his life is through sexual transmission. So it's, yeah, it was kind of this interesting take, kind of the statement about, you know, we always see fluid exchange between men and women as being this very life-giving thing, but between two men we see it as being very dangerous. And I wanted to kind of take that on and make that, you know, literally life-saving.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to that one. It's going to be interesting.
I'm all of that.
I'm sitting here listening to it, and I'm like totally flashing back to like one of the first times we met for lunch at the Blue Moon, and you sitting across the table and explaining all of that to me, and I'm like, that's fucking brilliant.
Did we
I
mention
love
they come
that.
from the same town?
Yeah, we both come from
Okay.
so
All
we've
right.
known each other a while.
And same question, what is your, in the future?
Like, there's a question.
I was going to repeat it. Your future,
Well, the next Romancelandia book, Billionaire with Benefits, was supposed to be out in January, but I write slowly, according to my editor, and she's not going to watch this, is she?
it is, I think I may be interviewing your editor today, maybe perhaps.
Anyway. She, I had to, you know, you can have it right or you can have it now, but you can't have it right now. And so I bailed on it. And so my next book coming out is actually supposed to be the last tag book, which is, it's called Poster Boy right now. And it's about Jock and Toby. But I keep writing this character into it named Noah, who actually made a tiny appearance in Sweet Young Thing, that he's bi, and I keep thinking, oh, I can change it later. I don't have to do another book after this. This is the last book, but I can change this character later, and I can tell it's not going to happen. So technically it's the last one, but don't be surprised if it's not. And then actually Billionaire with Benefits will come out probably late summer, and I have a short paranormal comedy coming out then too. And
Ooh, paranormal comedy.
Yes.
2 words you think are rarely connected. I can't wait to read it.
Everything
should be
Anna writes is
hilarious.
comedy.
Yeah, it should. I'm really excited. You can. I shouldn't even talk about it because what if it changes? It could totally change. But I'll talk about it really fast.
All books are works in progress,
Yes,
ladies and
yes.
gentlemen, just
Yeah.
saying.
Nothing's set in stone
what we
until
say
you
here
have it
is-
in your hot little
Yeah,
hands.
what we say here is subject to change because that's just how writers roll.
So what I have is I have a house cat shifter, and his boyfriend, who's a mage, gets angry with him and dumps him, but then curses him, so he's stuck in house cat
What a
form.
dick.
Yeah, and then he drops him at the pound.
Oh, God.
And so then, this all happens before the book starts, and so somebody adopts him, and it's when he finds out that the man who adopted him is getting him fixed.
Oh,
And-
no.
Yeah, and the guy leaves for work, and the cat manages to start a fire to escape, and that's pretty much how it starts.
I'm definitely on my to-read list right now because that's going to be awesome.
It will be because, oh, I'm not telling that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Say no more. As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch things up and ask you the next question.
Okay.
Okay, clockwalk, seriously?
Yeah.
Tell-
Seriously.
Folks, because this is all for the people who did not attend GRL, explain clockwalk to them, please.
Okay. Last year at GRL, we, Damon Swade, Taylor V. Donovan, and Elsie Chase and we decided to do an event together, and ultimately we came up with the Kinky Craft Fair. But when it came right down to it, we were like, we don't have that much kinky. And so Damon said something about, I can't remember how, he said something that made me think, oh, I could probably crochet some penises. And so I did, and they were like a huge hit. And so this year, Josephine Miles and I decided we wanted to do something around that. And we eventually came up with this cock-walk idea, which was actually supposed to be like a cakewalk, but then we're like, well, that's too complicated. I don't want to do that much planning. And so we just were like, we'll do a raffle. But we invited other people to bring stuff, and we got some amazing stuff. It was an art invitational, and then we had a couple of models who wore works. And it was really fun. And Edmund Manning was our MC this year, who's amazing.
He is awesome.
Hilarious.
We're in the same town, so.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I love him. And then, and we decided to raffle it off for charity, and we ended up making $400 in an hour.
Nice.
Very happy.
Awesome.
And it goes to the Lost and Found Youth Center in Atlanta, which is the only LGBTQ homeless center for teens in Atlanta.
That is.
And Elsie Chase actually did a different fundraiser during this time, and so she's walking their money and our money in on Monday morning.
That is
Very excited.
awesome.
I know, it went really well.
Do you think you'll be doing it again next year?
I think I have to.
Good.
I've kind of been told I have to. It should be fun.
I'll see what I can put on. Get done. Okay, well, because I know, like, we read, words, and they're right in front of me. Me and my book club, we enjoy Giving an Inch. We're, like, immediately buying Professor, the very next, we're buying, like, auto buy for the entire Professor's World series. And that was a collaboration.
Mhm.
Do you have any further collaborations in the future? Or who would you like to work with?
Not immediately on the slate. I have one manuscript that I've sent to Lori Witt that it's just a little stalled for me, and I was thinking that maybe a co-author could inject some new life into it, because I just kind of don't know where to take it based on the feedback I've been given. But she is so freaking busy that she might not ever be able to get to it. Yeah.
That would actually be an awesome pairing.
I'd
love to see that.
especially with the content of this book. This book was actually the second book I wrote in my Saugatuck series. In May, I've got Saugatuck Summer coming out. This book was actually features a couple characters who are already an established couple in Saugatuck Summer. So it's a step back into the past again, which I do that, I write a book, and then all of a sudden I want the story of somebody else in that book, and that story's already happened, and I know people hate prequels, but I just have to go there.
But in a way, it's kind of cool. I mean, because I totally have a prequel coming up in probably a few years when I get to it.
That queue's real long, huh?
So then I've got another book in the Saugatuck series, which actually features Chris and Matt from my Love Has No Boundaries short story, or novelette, I suppose it is. It's a little longer than a short. And if you've read that one, it's called The Field of Someone Else's Dreams.
Yes.
Matt and Chris went to high school with somebody named Topher Carlyle. And Saugatuck Summer is Topher Carlyle's story.
Nice.
And then you meet Jeff and Robin, who in Saugatuck Summer, and then this book that I've proposed that I worked on with Lori Witt is Jeff and Robin's story.
That is so cool. All right, so I think I'm going to round up with the last question. How many GRLs? I know there's only 3. Have you guys attended?
This is my second.
It's your second?
Mm-hmm.
This is my first.
So yay, cherries.
Yes.
No kidding, they actually put cherries on here. I lost my cherry. And I mean, actually lost it. I'm like, well, yes, I know this happens to every young girl, every girl once in her life, but
Everybody loses their cherry. Well,
Sometimes it happens twice.
it happens twice. So, and are we looking for, I know the news is out in the next year, I was gonna be in Chicago, so are we looking forward to it?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I wanna thank you both for your time, especially you. Because you were so busy yesterday, I'm so glad. And I'm glad I finally meet you, so I hope you guys have a great GRL. Guys, seriously, hop your butts on to Riptide Publishing, get these books, get all of their books. You will not.
all of our books.
You will not go wrong.
Can I add something?
Go ahead.
What the hell? What is it called? The
Impulse?
no, the free one you just wrote for Love Has No Boundaries.
Oh, The Field of Someone Else's Dreams?
Yes, thank you. I kept thinking Wildflower Field. Somebody has a book called that.
Well, Heidi Below just
Oh,
released
that's right.
Wallflower.
No, this one's called. Anyway,
Okay.
so that's free too, right?
Yes, that is free,
And is that
and it's on
available
the
on air?
Goodreads MM Romance Group, their website.
The website.
It's in the 5th volume of the Love Has No Boundaries anthology series. Yeah, that one's free, and then I've also got my self-pub trilogy, Impulse, which is, it's not really a trilogy, it's a novel in 3 parts. It's
I want
inertia,
those.
acceleration, and velocity. So by all means, check those out.
Well, what I was getting towards was if you feel uncommitted, we both have extensive free workout. I have 2 out, and I know you have at least 1. You can find them.
So
Yeah.
do that. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.